The expectation was that Klay Thompson would be the missing championship piece for the Dallas Mavericks, a splash brother reborn alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. But the reality is a whirlwind of benching drama, trade deadline panic, and a viral relationship that has the internet spiraling in 2026. On January 20th, 2026, a video of Klay and his girlfriend, Megan Thee Stallion, during a high-stakes golf date exploded across social media, showing the couple dancing and displaying a level of PDA that longtime Warriors fans found unrecognizable. While the public was busy debating Klay's newfound status as a celebrity tabloid fixture, the real industry drama was unfolding in the Mavericks' front office. This wasn't just a mid-season slump. It was a calculated effort by the franchise to navigate a roster that was supposed to be a contender but had instead fallen into a 15-25 record, led by a legendary shooter who was being asked to lead from the bench. We have to ask the three questions that the NBA media is too afraid to touch. Why did Klay's 2024 sign-and-trade dream turn into a 2026 trade rumor nightmare? How did the departure of Luka Doncic in a stunning trade to the Lakers leave Klay as the highest-paid anchor of a rebuilding ship? And what do the leaked reports say about a potential buyout agreement that would see Klay finish his career in Los Angeles? Today, we are following the receipts, the viral clips, and the trade deadline filings to reveal the superior reality of Klay Thompson's current standing, a story of a legend caught between his past glory and a viral future he never asked for. To understand the current chaos, we have to look at the second most surprising factor first, the Cooper Flagg pivot that changed the trajectory of Klay's Dallas tenure. In 2024, Klay joined a team that had just reached the NBA Finals. He famously turned down an $80 million offer from the Lakers to take a $50 million deal with the Mavericks because he believed in the Luka-Kyrie championship window. But according to the industry analysis from January 14, 2026, that window didn't just close, it was boarded up. In a move that blindsided Klay, Thompson-Doncic was dealt to Los Angeles. Shortly after, the Mavericks were hit with a brutal hand injury to Anthony Davis and the continued rehab of Kyrie Irving from ACL surgery. Suddenly, the Mavericks shifted their focus to the future, specifically reigning #1 overall pick Cooper Flagg. Per the reports from the Smoking Cuban on January 18, 2026, the Mavericks are currently focusing on a timeline centered around Flagg, who was still a teenager. This is the ultimate expectation versus reality crash. Klay didn't come to Dallas to build around a rookie, he came to collect his 5th ring. Now, he's watching the franchise tank for lottery odds while he reaches career milestones in a reserve role. Now we get to the most shocking point of this entire saga, the viral shift of Klay's public persona. For 13 years in Golden State, Klay was known as the most low-key person in the league, a man who loved his boat and his dog, Rocco. But since hard launching his relationship with Megan Thee Stallion in July 2025, that image has been completely rewritten. According to reports from the Pete and Thomas Foundation Gala and viral clips from January 20th, 2026, Klay has fully embraced the celebrity couple lifestyle. A recent video posted by TMZ Sports showed Klay and Megan at a golf date club, complete with romantic lighting and dancing. While Megan has called him the nicest person I've ever met, the intensity of their public PDA has created a viral noise that some Mavericks insiders suggest is a distraction. Per the reports from January 2026, fans who were used to Game 6 Klay are now confronted with a player whose personal life dominates the headlines more than his three-point percentage. This shift has become a major point of contention among old-school analysts who believe the distractions are part of the reason Klay was moved to the bench in November 2025. The third point we must address is the bench adaptation and the looming February 5th trade deadline. On January 17, 2026, Klay reached a massive milestone, eclipsing 17,000 career points during a 23-point explosion against the Utah Jazz. He also recently passed Damian Lillard for 4th place on the all-time three-point list. However, per the reports from ESPN Los Angeles, these milestones are being viewed as showcase performances for a potential trade. The industry word is that if the Mavericks cannot find a trade partner, a buyout is the most likely path. John Ireland of ESPN reported that the Lakers would be the first call Klay's agent makes if a buyout is reached. This would allow Klay to reunite with Luka Doncic and finally play for the team his father, Michael Thompson, represented during the Showtime era. The receipts show that Klay is currently averaging around 11.4 points per game, a career low. Yet he has been automatic over the last week, shooting nearly 50% from downtown. This resurgence makes him the ultimate commodity for a contender looking for floor spacing before the deadline. As we move into the deeper layers of this industry play, we see the fourth and fifth factors, the legacy tax and the potential for a Golden State reunion. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the Warriors are monitoring Klay's situation as the Mavericks look to dodge the second apron. There is a proposed trade on the table involving Jonathan Kuminga and Daniel Gafford that would see Klay return to the Bay Area. For many fans, this is the storybook ending the dynasty deserves. Stephen Curry reportedly never wanted Klay to leave, and the synergy between the two remains the gold standard for backcourt play. However, per the analysis from Blue Man Hoop on January 16, 2026, Klay's production has fallen off since arriving in Dallas, and his defense has dipped to below average levels. He is no longer an all-star, and at nearly 36 years old, he is a man without a country. Too expensive for a rebuilding Dallas team, yet a risky legacy play for a Golden State team trying to stay young. The sixth point is the emergence of the mentorship narrative versus the buyout reality. Klay has publicly stated that he is enjoying every second of being healthy and playing in Dallas, but his actions suggest a desire for one last championship run. In an interview on January 16th, Klay admitted that his love for the game keeps him going, but the trade rumors suggest the front office is ready to move on. The Mavericks are currently on pace for only 30 wins, and with Anthony Davis out indefinitely with a finger injury, the team is in a downward trend. Klay is effectively being used as a human trade chip to acquire assets that fit Cooper Flagg's timeline. This is a cold, hard business reality for a four-time champion who expected to be the co-star of a Western Conference powerhouse. Furthermore, we must look at the specific allegations of a locker room schism regarding the viral distractions. While Megan Thee Stallion has been a fixture courtside, cheering Klay on and even recording proud boyfriend clips for her Dunkin' Donuts endorsement, some veterans in the locker room are reportedly frustrated with the team's lack of focus. Per the report from January 14th, the stunning trade of Luka Doncic left the team without its soul, and Klay's celebrity lifestyle has filled that void in a way that doesn't necessarily translate to wins. The receipts show that while the Mavericks have won 3 of their last 4 games, their overall record remains problematic. The front office is reportedly weighing whether Klay's mentorship of Max Christie and Brandon Williams is worth his $17 million salary next season. The impact of this saga on the 2026 NBA landscape is massive. We are seeing a legend of the game being viralized and commodified in a way that highlights the transition of the league into a celebrity-driven business. If Klay Thompson is bought out and joins the Lakers, he will have effectively won his free agency 2 years too late. But if he is traded back to the Warriors, it will be seen as a retreat to the familiar. According to the trade deadline rumors from January 23rd, the next 13 days will determine if Klay finishes his career as a mentor for a teenage rookie or a hired gun for a LeBron James-led championship charge in LA. In summary, the Klay Thompson story isn't just about a shooting slump or a viral golf video. It is a case study in how the NBA industry handles its aging legends when their expectation of winning doesn't match the reality of a rebuilding franchise. We saw how a legend was forced into a bench role and how his personal life became a viral shield for a team that is actively looking to move him. The insider takeaway is clear. The Splash Brother era is truly over, and Klay is now navigating a new world where his brand is just as important as his jumper. Whether he ends up in LA, back in the Bay, or stuck in a Dallas rebuild, Klay Thompson has proven that he will stay very proud of his journey, no matter how many steamy videos the internet demand he delete. As the Mavericks prepare for the February 5th deadline, the Klay Thompson saga serves as a warning for any veteran star chasing one last ring in a new city. It's no longer just about the points on the scoreboard. It's about the draft capital, the second apron flexibility, and the ability to pivot when the superstar you came to play with is traded away. Klay's journey from the dynasty of the Warriors to the viral nightmare of the Mavericks is the ultimate example of the volatility of the modern NBA. If you want to understand the deeper games being played behind the scenes of these massive buyout agreements and the secret negotiations between the Lakers and Klay's agent, you need to know how the rest of the league is preparing for the Cooper Flagg era. To get the full picture of how money, manipulation, and viral PR are rewriting the rules of professional basketball, you have to see our breakdown of the other industry secrets that the mainstream media is too afraid to touch. We have the internal memos and the agency logs that show why the Luka to LA trade was just the beginning of the domino effect. Make sure to check out the Court Vision Rope playlist as your essential next step to understanding how the game is really played.